3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, bro, that's like pure citric acid. So here it is, the green bracket of hopefuls. Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Minor hiccup. My apologies. But green bracket for hopefuls here. Peyton, the first to score a Tetris, and it looks like afMirror is going to be able to score one shortly after. Also, Peyton's blocks look super crisp. It's like what you would see if you were playing on Max Out Club. Or it could also be Zeal Sharpener. And only the OGs remember the days before Max Out Club was a thing. And if you wanted like high definition blocks, you had to input things into like Zeal Sharpener and everything. Man, those are the good old days. I remember using it in the 3rd season of Gauntlet. But right now, things are basically dead even. Peyton has burned one more line than afMirror, which here at the beginning doesn't mean all too much. There's a Tetris for afMirror. Nice adjustment over there for Peyton. Thank you so much for the subscription, not Zempro. Appreciate your support into all things classic Tetris Monthly. It looks like we are getting a kind of difficult piece sequence. There's the Tetris for Peyton. And afMirror actually just maintaining an incredibly clean stack. It looked like a difficult piece sequence, but the way that the stack was built for afMirror just allowed for clean play. The player's playing this very well. 175 for afMirror. Peyton at 219. Also slightly ahead in lines as well. And ooh, Peyton, small misdrop. $243 now for Peyton. Having some complications form, so afMirror has the opportunity here. $248 now for Peyton, still trying to work the stack down. afMirror. There it is, Tetris for afMirror. Kind of putting us into a almost tie situation. And both players actually having to do some digging. So neither player was able to score a Tetris throughout that kind of prolonged dig formation. And now both players are able to get Tetris ready around the same time. afMirror does have an advantage in terms of lines. That might actually disappear. And we could just be looking at just a flat out tie game situation between the two. In terms of pace, Peyton has burned. Oh, had to take a double. Had to take another double. And great conservative play over there for Peyton. Able to maintain a clean stack while having to deal with unfavorable pieces. Another Tetris for afMirror. Another Tetris for Peyton. 341 to now 314. And Peyton's going to go for the triple. afMirror knocks down a Tetris. Actually in position to take the lead away from Peyton. Peyton come into some more conservative burns. This S-piece dependency that's here in the center of the stack is a bit on the tedious side to deal with, but great L. And, oh, maybe didn't get the I-piece all the way over? Either way, it does look like afMirror is going to take the lead with that Tetris and knocks down another one. 385 now for afMirror. We are nearing the transition. Peyton now having to manage the board, try and get it down low enough. They're still around 15 lines, so not necessarily in danger. But just in that short exchange, afMirror was able to build up quite a, well, not a super big lead, but was able to build one that is more or less comfortable. 403 to now 415. Peyton at 403, afMirror at 438 now following that Tetris. Peyton has opportunity for one last Tetris, assuming an L and an I piece come relatively soon. And no, it's just going to skim straight into transition at 427. afMirror, on the other hand, has 5 lines to go. Peyton's Tetris ready. There's one Tetris for afMirror. Might be able to get a 600k transition out of this, but oh no. Didn't quite nail the adjustment on that eyepiece. afMirror is going to transition at 489 and also has a little bit of digging to do. Peyton's trying to correct the stack. afMirror almost down to the bottom. Peyton, on the other hand, needs a J piece, now needs an L piece. Did I say 600k? I meant to say 500k. Transition possible. I'm not smoking nothing. There's 494 to now 497. Peyton's still trying to work their way out of this. And afMirror just holding on to a 40,000 point lead. A full level behind as well. Peyton cleans up the stack. Both players now in position to get Tetris ready. There's one Tetris for afMirror. Peyton holding out for the long bar. Needs a good flat piece. Oh, probably should have tried to go and just lay that flat, but Peyton's going to top it at 504. So afMirror is good at 546. Alright, looks like the first seed has already been incremented. It seems like we got readies. So, both players are ready. Let's go ahead and get... Yeah, 2F is what you should be looking at for your seed. You're on Tetris mode, not seed mode. There you go. All right. We got it ready from both players. Let's go ahead and count them down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So, what a solid game from both players. Peyton, valiant survival effort. And it was very tricky to try and find a way to get out of that up that high on 19, especially utilizing DAS. The only way that was possible to even get out of that was to go for a flat burn with the L. And unfortunately, a rotation hung and caused Peyton to top out. But that was just game 1. We still have potentially 4 left in the set, including this one, assuming things go the absolute distance. There's 116 now for Peyton. Peyton having to fill in that long bar dependency. afMirror kind of keeping up with Peyton here. Does have a long bar dependency that needs to be filled. And there's a bunch of different approaches that can be taken. Looks like it's just going to go for the approach, burn everything out, allowing Peyton to build up a 2 Tetris lead here early on here in the opener. Here's Tetris for Peyton, and another quick Tetris for Peyton. afMirror still kind of struggling to get more Tetrises on the board. Finally is set up for one. There's Tetris for afMirror. 193 at 46 lines to 277 at 53 lines. So 80,000 point lead currently for Peyton, and extends it to almost, or to a little bit over 100,000 point lead. It's afMirror. Ooh, double long bar right there. Very convenient. And a couple of tricky L's over there for Peyton, following an S. And Peyton might just convert this into a row 3. Yeah, row 3 Tetris over there for Peyton. Is ahead in lines a little bit of afMirror, so the lead can be slightly closer, but afMirror is kind of in trouble. All right, eyepiece comes. Peyton sets up a delay burn. Didn't quite execute properly, but those burns work out flawlessly. Another Tetris for Peyton. And afMirror, things are just falling apart. Stacking up to a top out, does manage to get the long bar over, score Tetris, and so a little bit more of a survivable position. But this is definitely going to be a costly one. And Peyton also with a small misdrop. Not really a good piece to kind of slide underneath there. So both players are having to deal with very interesting situations. Not necessarily just a straight up efficient or clean burnout available for either player. And oh, Peyton, several misdrops in a row. That might be it. Pieces have to get over to the left, and it's not going to happen. Peyton tops out at 362. afMirror, you need 363. But in addition to needing that score, AF needs to bring the stack down. At least have it a little bit more comfortable. L dependent. Converts the dependency. Beautiful flat L placement. That left side is going to be a thorn in afMirror's side. There's still plenty of time before level 19. Just around 30 lines. And if AF plays this right, this can definitely be cleared up in less than 30 lines. And that's objectively the goal here. And oh no, long bar dependency created. Very dangerous placements. And that's going to do it. afMirror tops out at 298. So Peyton is good. We are now tied 1-1. All right, both players are on the correct seed. So let's go ahead and count them down. Here you go, game number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Ooh, we got the sync with Peyton. I'd say that was a pretty admirable sync. You know, nice little synchronization. Over here for afMirror. Peyton got the stack down, and looks like just as committed. Only one more burn line. afMirror, so both players kind of in the same boat here in terms of pace. We kind of seen like a similar thing in the opener in game 1 for afMirror here too as well. And the timing on the long bars here in the first 28 lines or so have been incredibly friendly. Peyton now having to kind of correct the stack here, and this is a perfect opportunity for afMirror to go into the lead. Peyton could actually go for row 2, decides to set up a delay burn with the line piece, or the line spin rather. 2 quick Tetrises for afMirror. There it is, slightly dirty off-center wheel Tetris. And Peyton kind of in some trouble here. Nice down stacking. afMirror also going with a kind of Centerwell-esque build. And both players now have the board under control, and a simul Tetris is scored. Of course, we're a little bit at different places in the P sequence. Peyton has generally been playing a little bit ahead of afMirror. Part of that is due to, starting a little bit earlier than the two, but also you'll see some occasional push down, not a lot, like what you would expect from players that are known for pushing down, but just a little. And speaking about, oh, that is a massive misdrop, not a little one. Mirror tops out at 303. Peyton, you need 304. And Peyton is just trying to get out of this. All right, that's perfect. Actually, a triple should be enough. But does so with a Tetris. Peyton is good for game number 3. Also, completely unrelated, my credit score went up 65 points in the last month. So now I have a 703 credit score. But both players are ready. Same seeds are in. So let's go ahead and get them counted down. Here you go. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And looks like we got a dirty Tetris kind of forming over here for Peyton. afMirror scored the first 2 Tetrises with little difficulty, while Peyton had to deal with some early tribulation here in the beginning. Both players has now brought the stack down to a comfortable level. Peyton looking for the perfect piece to burn this out. Gets the T piece. That's going to work out just fine. Peyton now Tetris ready. Going to be trailing by about a Tetris in terms of true pace. 2 Tetrises in actuality.
What is the future of the human race?
Tetris over here for Peyton. 96,000 now 126. We're on a 30,000 point lead for afMirror, so about a Tetris and a half. And overall, the stacking just seems very fluid. Very comfortable situation we kind of find ourselves in here. Nothing too crazy happening. $121 to now 173. 45 lines in. We're on a 50,000 point lead for afMirror. And looks like gonna be kind of stuck in this position for a while. There's a couple Tetrises that afMirror had to pass up on utilizing. And oh, Peyton actually goes for the Tetris instead of filling in the long bar dependency. Multiple J-piece dependencies all across the board. Oh, creates an I-piece dependency, fills it in. There's a Tetris for Peyton. Smart solve. Is going to be looking for another L-piece or an I-piece. Now would definitely be looking for an I-piece. Going to go for a small skim. Trailing by 50,000 points still. I-piece comes a tad bit too late. So he's going to have to commit to a couple more burns here. There's the Tetris for afMirror and a counter Tetris for Peyton. 248 to now 297. Things seem pretty stable so far. $370 to now $305. Lead has been slightly extended. And we're around just under 30 lines away from the transition. Looking at a potential 450 with very efficient play from afMirror. But we're going to likely, or not 450, 550. But likely we're in the territory of 500k transition.
That light arose spontaneously on the Earth, so it must be possible for light to appear on other suitable planets, of which there seem to be.
There's another Tetris over there for afMirror. And ooh, Peyton. Couple of rough sequence of pieces, and that L piece came one piece too early. Decided to cover up the well with it. Gonna go for the flat burn. Very risky. And unless Peyton gets an L or a J. Alright, that's perfect. Still needs that L. Needs that L more than ever. I piece will also do. Gets it over. Survival is still possible, but hold on, we are right upon transition. Only 8 lines left to go, and that left side is built up 6 high.
3.5 billion years ago. The Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago.
And this is a tough situation. That top out's going to do it. We are heading into a decider. And looks like afMirror would have gotten a 550k transition. 560k transition, rather. Alright.
possible, which is short compared to the 10,000-year lifetime of the planet of Earth type. This suggests
We have a ready from Peyton, and we have a ready from afMirror. So let's go ahead and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Ah, yes. A CTM classic. You hear this song and just like, it's nostalgia. Both players doing fairly well here in the opening. Peyton once again taking one more burn line than afMirror. afMirror getting up a bit high. Gonna commit to a couple of safe burns. Held out for the L piece. Turns out to be highly beneficial. Knocks down a Tetris and now trails by a Tetris. Peyton was not prepared to take or to score a Tetris with that long bar. So we are now more or less in a pretty similar position as previous games. Their scores are really close. But it's around the mid-level 18 that we see that one player has a chance to break away from the other. Peyton having to commit to the double there with the S. Didn't really have any clean placements. There were any real clean overhangs that could have been committed either. But is going to take a Tetris lead. $230 to now $207. Oh, nice 5 below adjustment over there for Peyton. Tetris for afMirror kind of shows that we're separated by around a single, or somewhere around that range. Clean play so far from both players, and we're basically even in terms of scoring potential. Might be some separation possible for afMirror. Peyton had to take a couple of burn lines. That's assuming that afMirror doesn't have to match the same burn lines taken. And, ooh, Peyton. More burns having to be kind of forced here. Don't want to go too aggressive. This is the decider, so there are no more second chances. Another Tetris for afMirror. Taking the lead now, actually, with that Tetris. Couple of opportunities are being missed over here for Peyton. Was holding out for the J. There are definitely other ways to get it solved a lot more quickly. And Tetris still gets scored, but now has to deal with that hole in column 2. And in particular, holes in column 2 and column 9 are just incredibly tedious to burn out of. And looks like it's just going to have to commit to the triple. We are nearing the transition here in the decider. 421 and now 448. The game's gone a little bit into level 19. I believe the furthest that we've seen has been level 22 from these two players here today. Two more Tetrises will send us into the post-transition. There's one for afMirror. Both players, one Tetris left. Peyton's trying to go for it. And it's just going to take the necessary burns. No longer set up. 481 transition for afMirror. Peyton not too far behind, but oh no. afMirror is experiencing complications. Nice, smart burns. But that left side is still a problem. Trying to go for flat placements. Best opportunity of success, and it's not going to happen. afMirror tops out at 485. Peyton takes the decider. Well played. Alright, let's go ahead and get our next two matches pulled up. So, enjoy some pre-roll slides. We go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Both players started off with a O and an I. Almost thought it was same pieces there for a second. I was like, it's quite bizarre. But other players starting off with a Tetris just yet. There it is. Mecex scores the first Tetris of the game. And so far, things look pretty stable on both boards. Mecex, dirty Tetris with the world transfer, and a follow-up Tetris. Thank you so much for the bits, Peyton. Anyways, both players, clean stacks, Gresiu. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. 130. Mecex at 165. Mecex getting... Oh, nice. Hits the T-spin. Both players kind of stacking up high and both setting up T-spins. Oh, that is a dangerous hang over there for Mecex. A way of navigating through this is still definitely possible. Do want to be a little bit careful here. An eyepiece is definitely needed. Set up for something dirty. And Mecex is going to top out at 219. And that Tetris is going to give game 1 to Gresiu. Both players are ready. We can get game number 2 underway. All right, got it ready. Let's go ahead and count them down. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So unfortunate early top out for Mecex. Almost managed to survive it. Just fortunately was not an ideal board. But it seems like both players are pretty even here to start things off with. Gresiu with a 1 Tetris advantage over Mecex currently. But all it takes is for a couple burn lines and we can be back in an even position in terms of where both players are with relative scores. Another Tetris for Gresiu. Mecex looking for a J piece preferably. Gets 2 S pieces. And Mecex having to take that triple. Nice, goes for the flat burn. And there is Tetris for Mecex. Can decide to go for a row 2, not necessarily too dangerous. And Gresiu going for a row 3 left low. Knocks it down and gets a woe transfer. Mecex also knocks down a Tetris as well. So Mecex going for the left low now. A lot of play all over the board here in this game. Seeing row 2, row 3s, elevated left wells, elevated right wells now in the case of Mecex. Gresiu in a little bit of danger. And oh, Mecex brought that back. And Mecex gonna have another early top out, so Gresiu is good for game number 2. We have it ready. We can get our next game underway. Yes, please. Alright. Don't know where Mecex is. Oh. Wow. Alright. Both players are ready. Let's go ahead and count them down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. I have not heard this song before. Mecex needs to win this next game in order to extend the set. Gresiu needs to win this in order to take the match and advance to the quarterfinals. Or round 2. And Mecex kind of experiencing some mild turbulence here. Nothing too serious. There's one thing you definitely say that Mecex is having fun. And I mean, hey, you know, that's a good part of it. And a couple of rough placements over here for Mecex. Had the lead up until that Tetris. But it looks like both players are going to have things under control. Gresiu with the slight disadvantage in terms of score, but otherwise we are pretty much neck and neck here. $198,000 for Gresiu. Mecex at 187. Mecex once again up around the middle of the board. And could be oh, and that's going to do it. Mecex tops out at 190. So Gresiu advances to round number 2. So let's go ahead and get Peyton and Gresiu set up. Looks like we have a ready from both players. Ready confirmed in chat and ready on Peyton's game. So let's go and count them down. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yes, LSJ. One of the more friendlier openings. Winner of this will advance, of course, to the semis. Looks like Peyton able to score the first Tetris of the game. Gresiu having trouble getting ideal pieces. Does open up the well, so can get on the board with a Tetris. Well, not anymore. Unless something in the center is set up. And it's just become more and more complicated. Nice couple flat burns, though. A Tetris for Peyton and a Tetris for Gresiu. Peyton going to be able to take advantage. Able to earn around a 70,000 point advantage. Around 3 Tetrises. And this is a very uncomfortable board state for Gresiu. A lot of holes, so the stack was brought down. Can try and go for a left wall if this gets burned out quick enough. $238 for Peyton, now a 100,000 point lead, and the line count is identical. So not much you can really do to Gresiu instead of just hoping that Peyton plays some section of this middle game or middle 18 inefficiently. Which, in the game of Tetris, anything is possible. You can go, 40 lines straight, scoring Tetrises, or you can go 40 lines straight, taking burns. Not necessarily because you want to, but maybe you're forced to. And looks like Peyton might be in the latter. Forced to take a triple there. Could... No, not just going to set up eyepiece dependent. Gresiu's making quite the comeback here. Now only down by 40,000 points. It's one of the interesting things with same piece sets. It's a game that punishes your stack, or rather playing SPS, punishes your stacking more so than any other aspect. Because y'all both will receive the same amount of long bars. However, it's up to you and the way that you played whether you'll be able to capitalize on said same long bars. And in Peyton's case, did a fantastic job early game. But Gresiu, around the last 30 or so lines, was able to find a pretty nice amount of success. Fortunately, is going to have to do some burning, hits the Z-spin. And nice little burnout there with the O. Decided not to hold out specifically for the piece that would give the best resolution, but more so a practical solution was found. However, said practical solution did allow Peyton to reestablish a 2 Tetris lead. 410 to now 348. Gresiu not going to go for the column 9. Just going to burn out that single. Completely understandable. There's also another great thing about Tetris. You have options. You have choices to make. Every single piece, you have so many different ways that you can decide to place it. And of course, your execution matters. And speaking about execution, we are closing in on level 19. Peyton, not the most comfortable positions to want to transition with. Perfect L. Only thing that'd be even more perfect is if an eyepiece came right about now. Oh, that is scary. Peyton needs that eyepiece. Okay, eyepiece comes. If another one comes, there might be a saving grace. And Peyton's going to top it at 469. Gresiu needs to get to 470. What a brutal drought right before the transition. And Gresiu is set up. Long bar, there it is. There's the Tetris, and that's gonna do it. Game 1 goes to Gresiu. Looks like E8 is our next seed. Echo 8. Oh yeah, dude, this is another classic. You know, when I think of this song, I think more so of Deathmatch rather than like any particular CTM Masters bracket. Or main event for that regard. For those of you that remember. E8 at the beginning. So the seed should read E8 or Echo 8, Falco 239. I forgot what the F was actually. No problem. All right, we got readies from both players. Let's go and count them down. We go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. I'm about to look this up. Oh, Foxtrot. What the heck? Interesting. I see. Well, the more you know. And right now, both players having to deal with a lot of Z's in this seed. Man, there is so many Z's in this seed. You can definitely tell how it's impacted both players. Oh, nice. The Z flat over there by Gresiu. Smart play. That burns one line. That burns a triple. And just like that, Gresiu is going to be safe. Peyton knocks down a dirty Tetris. What a tough opener. I think that has been one of the toughest 40-line openers that I've seen. I mean, it wasn't necessarily the piece sequence itself, but the sheer volume of Z pieces. And in order, like, to have your board accommodated for multiple of a specific piece, especially when we talk about S and Z pieces, you know, it's definitely a difficult task to do in just the terms of just how stacking is. 121 to now 140. Peyton with the advantage. Knocks down Tetris, goes up to 164. But I must say, both players did a fantastic job able to survive that kind of Z burst. Or not necessarily a Z burst in itself, but just a plethora of Z's being hit with the board. Kind of curious now, actually. Z count isn't actually all that high. It's only at 26. By now, most of the pieces have kind of equalized. Long bars are the least at 23, with the most pieces being the O piece, of course. But it was just the opener that had a lot of Z's in them. Okay, see, this would be like a main event song. Like, you, like, almost distinctly remember the main event playing on, like, this song. Peyton does get an eyepiece, filling that center dependency. Gresiu has an opportunity. Close the gap by a Tetris. Down currently by 50,000 points. Both players knocked down a Tetris. For a second, I was about to say they were synced on the piece sequence, which would have been quite weird considering that Peyton is ahead in lines. But it is also possible if you just so happen to score Tetrises rapidly. Like, let's say you're stacking up, 8 high, and both you and your opponent get 2 long bars. Your opponent had to use those long bars somewhere else on the stack, well, you could use the 2 of them for, a Tetris. Well, in that case, you can easily build some separation there in terms of, like, just where your line count would be. So, same pieces are still, or same spot in the sequence are still possible, even if a player is ahead in lines, but that's not the case here. What is the case is that we are going to be heading into transition soon. 432 for Peyton, 367 for Gresiu. There's Tetris for Gresiu. 412 to now 450, or now 483 transition for Peyton. Very respectable. And Gresiu potentially. There's one Tetris. Wait, Gresiu could actually get a 482 out of this. And oh no, after that, no, 459, but a 483 following that Tetris. So pretty close at transition, all things considered. Peyton is going to be ahead generally by a level. Gresiu experiencing mild complications. $493 to now $570. Gresiu having to do some down stacking. Oh. Interesting approach over here. Things are going to work out. Would love to see an L piece. Not quite the L. Looking for a J piece now. And Gresiu might be in trouble. Gresiu's going to top out at 505. Peyton ties up the set 1-1. This is like a modern day Masters song. So, increment the first 2. I believe it should be F9, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like Peyton might be trying to go for a max here. No, not gonna go for it. Did require near perfect play, so it would have been difficult. Oh yeah, that starting sequence was it was kind of nasty. Alright. You got it ready. Let's go ahead and count them down. Here you go. Game number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Honestly, this song sounds like it could be more celebratory We got a 5 below start from Peyton and a more natural start from Gresiu. Like, I feel like this would be a song you play as like, congratulations, you just won CTM Masters. Or maybe that's just me. Peyton holding out for a long bar. There it is. Scores the Tetris. Had to burn 4 lines, so it's going to be trailing by a Tetris early on. But of course, this is just the opener. $95,000 apiece. Peyton scores a Tetris, actually taking the lead. There's a Tetris for Gresiu. Both players on kind of the same pace here. Ooh, nice burns over there for Peyton. Peyton knocks down a Tetris, goes into the lead slightly before it gets taken back. Oh no, Peyton scored a triple, so we're going to be pretty even here in terms of where both players are score-wise. $224 to now $224. Wait, separated by 10 pushdown points. What the heck? Not anymore, but that was the separation. And I believe the 10 pushdown points were in favor of Gresiu. Pushdown for a little bit more. Peyton now with a Tetris lead, though. Oh dang, this is a 6-minute song. It's a little bit curious. 301,000 for Gresiu at 80 lines, 320 at Peyton at 77 lines, and Peyton is behind on lines, which kind of haven't seen that happen too much today. But normally Peyton has been the one that's been ahead in lines, whether it's because of just some really low latency internet and able to start the game before the other player does, or just, I mean, building up higher and having to commit to burns a lot more often. This is a main event song, like all the way. Like I would associate this song with main event before it was Masters. 338 to now 415 at 98 lines over here for Peyton. 500k transition is definitely within reach, but it might not be necessary. No, Gresiu's just gonna barely survive. We are closing in on the transition, so Gresiu at the bare minimum would like to get this stack into a controllable position. Down by 100,000 points now, but your deficit doesn't inherently matter if you don't make it past transition, because you'll just generally lose. No, I feel like it's more rare to see a player behind at transition, or players win because they right before transition because of they topped out and they just had a higher pace, and they win like before the game even goes to 19. I feel like that's more rare. But 424 transition for Gresiu and Peyton. Ooh, it's going to transition at 520. So almost 100,000 point lead for Peyton. Oh, decided not to go for the L-tuck. There's a Tetris. Gresiu already up a little bit high here on 19. Oh, didn't probably have enough time to make an adjustment for that. Or didn't want to commit to the adjustment. This could be it. The TP hangs and Gresiu resets, so Peyton, you are good. Ended up having a higher score. So Peyton is now up 2-1. That is correct. All right, looks like we have ready, so let's go ahead and count them down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. All right, we're gonna have to restart this one, Peyton. Gresiu had PAL mode on. All right, so next seed should be 1B. All right, we have it ready, so let's go ahead and count that down. Here you go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And what a start over here from Gresiu here in the beginning. What a way to try and fight back in game number 4. A near flawless opener. $250 to now $147. Peyton has gotten the board under control, but this could get dangerous. A little bit of a hang to the left side. Definitely annoying, but it is still possible to survive. Gresiu at 297. Very strong game. $391 for Gresiu, $275 for Peyton. Peyton surviving 301 now. Looks like this is going to come down to 19. You haven't seen prolonged 19 play. So this one goes the distance. Peyton is going to have to pull through on the post-transition. $540 transition for Gresiu, $400,000 for Peyton. $446 to now $625. Gresiu is on a tear here. 200,000 point lead. And Peyton, oh, another misdrop. Kind of running out of time. When you have a lead as big as this, you either need your opponent to top out like right now within like the next level or two, or you just have to capitalize massively on a certain kind of period of scoring inactivity. And Gresiu right now, 731. Such a dominant game so far. Ooh. Nice dirty Tetris over there for Peyton. That kind of aggression is what is needed. Tetris for Peyton. And oh, can't get that piece all the way over to the left. Tetris for Gresiu, still up by 200,000 points. I think we might be looking at a potential max out here in Hopefuls. Game number 4 of round 2. 836 to now 617. And oh, Peyton committing to it. Nice aggressive moves. Knows gotta play this way. Eyepiece still down by a substantial amount, but hold on, Gresiu has stopped scoring. If good pieces fall on Peyton's direction, oh no. A lot of aggressive tucks. Doing the best possible, but RNG was just not there for Peyton. And Peyton might have to try and bust out some rolling in order to salvage this. Only a couple lines remain. That left side looking deadly. Nice principles for getting it down, but only one line left to go. Was at least able to take the game to 29, but a 950 from Gresiu. What a game 4. We now go to a decider. Yeah, if level 27 wasn't bad, you probably would have been able to get a reliable max out. Level 27 was terrible. Alright, both players are ready on 2C. So let's go ahead and count them down to the decider. We're going 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So here it is. The decider. Second decider we've gotten today, and both deciders have involved Peyton. And Peyton already off to not an ideal start. Eyepiece is going to be wonderful. Tough LPs, great adjustment on the T. Think of this song as like a Masters event song. And oh, Gresiu Could have been a little scary. It looks like everything's going to turn out all right. Still maintaining around a 2 Tetris lead. And Peyton's just going to burn it down. You know, Peyton's grip kind of reminds me of Harry Hong's grip. The way that he grips the controller. Yeah, that actually looks almost exactly like Harry Hong's grip. 173 for Gresiu and 119 for Peyton. I like the approach that tried to accomplish, but oh man, these pieces just aren't having it. And you're saying something when neither player is really able in a position to score. In fact, Gresiu's situation, okay, gets the eyepiece over to the left. And Peyton's getting great pieces as well. This can easily get uncomfortable for either player. Oh, Gresiu with that hang. Eyepiece is needed this absolute second. Could have tried and gone for a delayed burn. Gresiu gets the L piece over, but Gresiu's going to top it at 187. Peyton, you need 188. What a terrifying sequence that was. Probably one of the uglier sequences I've seen. And that Tetris is going to do it. Peyton advances to the semi-finals. Winner of the green bracket. There you go. Look at that. Your bracket winner, Peyton. And Peyton had to earn that in game number 5. That was some really bad RNG. By the way, game 4 by Gresiu was amazing play. Ah, so it is a debut. But I'm going to send you guys over the Masters. I'm going to do some gauntlet prep stuff. So let's go ahead and send you guys over to monthly Tetris 1. Anyways, I'm your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and I'll see you actually in a couple of hours on the Classic Tetris channel for the conclusion of the Classic Tetris Gauntlet Overdrive playoffs. See y'all later.